I get so many requests to talk about this that I decided I would go and play the Flash game. And it's on the front page of Newgrounds right now, if you can believe it. And it's called My Little Army, developed by Congregate. And the title is taking too long to load for me to continue my song. Yes, My Little Army Mythballs. I don't know why it's called the Mythballs. These are apparently the Mythballs in question. And these guys, I think it's just these three here that you get to choose from. Let's click. I don't want to click New Game. I have a game and I don't want to lose it. Suffice to say, this guy's the bad guy. This is the guy for easy mode, which is the mode that I chose. And we're going to click Continue. Total Battle 3! With my dude. I tried recording this once before, and it makes such a humongous video file that it crashed. So I have to keep this short. So I'm just going to go over the basics of the game and maybe show you one battle. Alright, so when you play the game, there's a tutorial, and then there's a storyline and some alternate quests that you can do. Like if I go into mission, I only did the first mission, and then I've done several of these secondary quests. The mission advances the mission. And see story chapter 2. And secondaries basically just get you extra gold. And the number of stars, I believe, is the difficulty of the mission. Alright, so here's your army, as it were. This is my hero character. You get to choose a hero when you start the game. And which hero you choose determines the level of difficulty. And I believe, like I said, this is the easy difficulty guy. This is actually the hero, and he rides on a giant diaper-wearing spiked collar gorilla with floating hands. These are upgrades for your hero. Here we see that we increase his attack power. This is a spell he can gain, which shoots a volley of arrows. This is a healing spell. And then defense and extra mana. I accidentally clicked on this, I believe, on one of the two of these at the very beginning of the game and lost all my gold. It made it kind of difficult to play on account of I didn't upgrade my army at all. So then, if you click on this button, it brings you to your actual soldiers. As the game's playing, you have a mana bar, and each of these guys costs mana. And as you cast, the spell or what have you, you summon these guys onto the field. We'll see that in a little bit. But here, you get to actually customize to a degree what you're summoning. Now, I'm going to use this guy as the example. There's 3 things you get to customize. Part 1 is your class. So, like right now, I can choose between making him a warrior or making him an archer. And you see here on the side his status bar. If I made him a warrior, he would greatly increase his health and his power, but he would be slower, and then have a couple changes among his... I'm thinking these are defenses. I think that's what the D stands for. His defense to striking, slashing, piercing, fire, ice, thunder. And then mana is how much he costs to summon. The second thing you get are characters. And basically, this is sort of like if in a D&D sense, your race. So right now, he is a peasant. You can also make a scholar, and you can see once again, it would increase his health, decrease his power, and increase his defense to strikes. I also have access to a novice, who has less health but more speed than a peasant. And I also have access to a hippie, who has less power, much less defense, but he's really resistant to fire. So hippies are great against fire-wielding enemies. You might also notice that I have these guys, but they're not in here. That's because I only have... See how I can have like 4 peasant guys and 4 scholar guys and up to 5 of the novices? The issue is that I can only have 2 of these totem-headed guys, and I've used both of them. The third thing you can get is weapons. So here I have my choice between a purple bow, which you can see is worse than the current bow I have, which is this green bow. And certain upgrades in your character, well, I don't know about your class. There's a possibility that it changes as you unlock further classes. But certain character upgrades, like these totem guys, as well as better weapons, cost more mana when you summon them. Here's my scholar. He's a warrior, so he's got a sword and shield. He's also a warrior. Now you can see between him to him, his hit points increase, his power increases, his speed increases, and certain of his resistances change. And he also costs more mana. And he costs even more mana because he has this special axe, which is even stronger than the wooden sword. See, it's 25 points stronger. Alright, so that's the basic overview of the army. There's also a shop where you can buy new stuff. For example, I don't have enough money to buy any of this, but I can buy extra things. These are weapons. This is a Ronin, which would be a class, not a class, a character. And this is a merman, which would also a character, but I don't have near enough money to buy any of them. There's achievements, of which I've unlocked none. And help menu if you want to read up on the rules. So we're going to play a quick mission. I'm going to do an easy Eastern Warrior, I suppose. 1600 gold, slay the target enemy, 1-star difficulty. Go! So as you're playing, these are the bad guys. I'm going to start off by summoning a couple of my really good warriors and a couple of my archers. They're going to head out and they're going to start wailing on these guys. Your hero, unfortunately, doesn't seem to move ever. He just kind of stands there. And normally, you can scroll back and forth. Okay, these guys have some sort of affliction. I don't know what it is, but they have one. You can normally scroll back and forth, but apparently there is no scrolling on this map. Maybe I just have to defeat enemies? I don't know. Or maybe I have to wait for my guys to get further over. Normally it scrolls automatically. Oh well. Down here is your guys that you can summon. They're also on the QWER buttons. And if you switch over to your spells, you can have spells, and these are on your number buttons, 1 to 7. My one spell is this Rain of Arrows. So I can cast Rain of Arrows, and then click or hit spacebar, and there's a whole mess of arrows that fall down and kill stuff. And apparently I just won the battle. That's how easy that battle was. And now an ad is going to load. Well, I'm not going to let the ad load. Suffice to say, the game... there are much more difficult missions. That was the easiest mission I've ever done. And I got a reward, and my reward is now I have access to 1 Ronin, and I'll just show you that real quick too. If we go over here, I can choose like this guy, and then go to my character, and then I can see my Ronin. He would be even more powerful, but have less health. So that's the trade-off I can get. And if I make it this guy, here he's just like a straight upgrade for power, and he's even faster. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade him, and he also costs more mana. Wonderful. Oh well. Close that. Close that. This is My Little Army. It's on Newgrounds' front page. Feel free to play it and watch this show. Alright, bye-bye.